Well, the way I got started is completely different than how they got started. And in fact, I don't know if my story is something that your college administrators would love for me to be sharing with you college students. But so like Jamie said, I graduated from Temple last May. I graduated from high school in 2000. So my college career was not typical by any means. I guess I got started. I went to American University in DC for 2.5 years, and I was really active in the music scene down there, in the punk rock scene. And I did some event stuff on campus for the Student Union Board and the Independent Arts Collective, so large scale, small scale. And then I also did stuff around the city, promoting and everything like that, just because I would get to go to concerts for free and shows for free, and I love music. So I did that, and I was a criminal psychology major. I wanted to be a forensic psychologist. I wanted to be Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But life happens, and I had a big tragedy occur in my life, and it actually kind of made me decide that I needed to reevaluate what I wanted to do, and maybe not do something so cynical. And so I moved to New York. I just knew I wanted to do something with music industry, entertainment, maybe film. I just knew I liked the entertainment world. I loved Us Weekly. I love people. I like reading about what's going on in the celeb world, but I know that sounds really I love Us Weekly, but no, I just I like the brighter side of life, the entertaining people, and not figuring out why they do bad things to good people, And so I got an internship at a record label in the PR department, and I had no idea if I wanted to do PR or anything like that. And I loved it, and at that point, I wasn't in school. I was living with my grandma in New York, and in New York City, and I had no money, and I just worked like it was my job. I worked 60 hours a week for free. And actually, I think I paid them money because I, bought myself lunch every day and took the subway. And through good timing and luck and the fact that they had to kick me out at the end of the day, I ended up getting hired a couple of months later as junior publicist, and then ended up getting promoted over the next year for 3 times to be national tour publicist. So I was in charge of all V2 Records is a subsidiary of Virgin, so we had international touring bands. But I was just in charge of tour press for the country. And I was 24 years old, I think, then. And then the music industry being what it is, there's not a lot of money unless you're selling Jay-Z's records or something. And I figured it was, I was racking up a whole lot of debt living in the city, because by that time I had moved out from my grandma's house. I had my own place, but it was still expensive, and I decided that I didn't want too much more time to go before I went back to school and finished my degree. And I moved back to Philly, which is where I was born and raised. And my boss, when I left, she said she would write me a recommendation to go back to school if as long as I didn't go back for PR, because I already knew what I was doing and I didn't need a degree to go any further. She was really cheering me on there to go back to school. And so I figured I've always been a writer, and you really need to know the journalism industry in order to be able to be a good publicist. You need to be able to pitch the stories, find the stories, know what the journalists want to write about, and especially in this day and age where there's so few journalists to the amount of stuff that's coming out, coming at them, especially in music. Everybody can release a record or song or whatever, and less people are getting paid to write about them.